if you see this hiding and behind the ego is which is holding the truth away from us, Self is everywhere, but it hides for the one who is hiding behind these, which we call as sheaths, koshas. But there is only one kosha of this mind, ego, which creates this. We feel very cozy in this secrecy, that we are separate and I can cook stupidity in my mind and nobody will know. What can you say? Anyway, a devotee, that's why devotee gives up everything, good or bad, and stay naked. If you would have heard a story about Robert Adams. Yeah. Robert Adams, when I think he was 18 years of age, he was advised by his that time guru, Paramahansa Yogananda in US, to go and visit Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. So he came. He went, and then when he went for the first time, he heard that Bhagavan has gone on mountain for his walk. And according to the rules of ashram, or you can say unwritten rules, that you should not be chasing him all the time. You should meet him when he comes to his meditation hall. But he went. And when he saw Bhagavan, first thing he did was he became stark naked. He took off all his clothes. That was not planned, but maybe just to show that he is in all his naked awareness, he's there. And Bhagavan didn't mind this act. He accepted him. They didn't treat him as a crazy teenager. He treated him as a really ardent devotee who is quite highly mature. So this is something about expose yourself. Not literally, but not hiding behind the mind and ego. So Neelakantanji?
I'm reminded of something else. The word nirvana. Nirvana, actually there's another definition for it. Nakedness is one. Niravarana. That avarana, the hidingness is gone. Something is hiding all of us. That ego is hiding all of us. Piercing that ego and being that. That is, niravarana is called nirvana. Avaranam, and avaranam is completely gone. That is, some veil, that veil is taken off. Beautiful. That is niravaranam, and that is nirvana. So we are all trying for that. Hopefully, one day, all the veils will be pierced. Maybe a little bit here and there. We are looking like there is another funny, say like a story. A small kid is there who is hardly 3 years old, small little girl, and she is playing hide and seek with her parents. And the parents purely know she is not lost. So she is enjoying, and the parents are also enjoying. Like that, the self is playing hide and seek with us, and we think that it's really lost. Then what will happen? So think about that. We are never lost. The self is always there. So it's like hide and seek. So one way, it's two ways you can take it. Hey Sanjay, don't take it the other way. It's just we are playing hide and seek with you, so don't worry. The other way around the sky, you all open up. Both the ways you can take it.
Yeah, but it also depends which side are you. Are you towards the side of self awareness, or you are towards the side of ego? So from the side of self, ego is a play, but from the ego point, there is suffering and there is bondage. It depends which side you are playing the game. And yeah, it is very good. If you see the way you have explained, nirvana, we say nirvastra, taking off the clothes, nirvastra. So that's similar thing. And symbolically, if you see Bhagavan was hardly wearing any clothes also, so understanding and ripening that understanding further by imbibing this knowledge, not intellectually, but in your heart. It is not that easy even to explain for a right word. When we say heart, it is something which is intelligence, which is much more profound, which understands not like intellectual understanding, but something just settles in. If you start listening or start your understanding from that pure awareness, staying like that, somehow everything just settles within. That change in the software from where it is operating changes on its own. We just have to give way. We just have to, you can call it accepting it, openness, devotion, or getting into that grace, or feeling gratitude about it. Whatever way it works in everyone in its own unique way. But that individual, that person has to open up for it. And it works. Nilakantanji, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I thought of a verse from Mandukya Upanishad, a bit dry, but it fits into what we are discussing. Nantaf prajnam, nalagish prajnam, no vayataf prajnam, na prajnanaganam, na prajnam, na prajnam, adrishtam, apyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achintyam, avyavadeshyam, ekatma pratyasarmam, prapanchopashamam, shantam, shivam, advaitam, chaturtam manyante, sa atma, sa vigneya. They define Turiya as not outward consciousness, not inward consciousness, neither outward and inward consciousness combined, not knowing consciousness, not unconsciousness, beyond perception, beyond transactions, beyond anything to be grasped, beyond inference, beyond thought, beyond description, traceable only through the self-awareness, free from this world, and it is tranquil, and it is non-dual. That is Atma, and know that this way.
Beautiful, beautiful. This long definition itself means that you can't describe it. Mind has no power to describe it. So the one who has understood by being that, not no other way. Because if you see, actually nothing changes in a way, but on other sense, it's a complete 180-degree turn. Because externally the body looks the same, your activities look the same, unless it's in your destiny to run into a cave or something, but you keep doing the same job, same thing, same people, same. But internally there is a big change. And that change, the biggest proof of that change is you feel bliss all the time. Whatever external circumstances are happening or not happening, there is not an iota of difference in that bliss within you. It is as if you are happy with whatever it is. And the qualities which we always think about in a jnani, he does not cultivate, it does not happen. He is not even aware of it if there is a quality. He just lives in that awareness. And whatever that awareness decides, or how the body moves or things have to happen, he is okay with everything. This is the beauty of it. This is the beauty in a total acceptance. So the one who is doubting on small things in life or big things in life or even about spirituality, that doubter has melted away. Whether it is because of devotion, becoming such a devotee that the devotee has merged into the whatever he was devoted to, or it is just you understood that I don't have to feed this devil within me, and you have starved this devil called ego to its death by not gossiping, no likes, dislikes, judging, analyzing, criticizing, not giving any attachment, desires or hate. These looks like so many things, but I'll tell you honestly, if your attention is on awareness, this will happen automatically, because it is the same attention which goes through the mind, extroverted mind, and wants to achieve all these things, or judging or analyzing objects and beings around us. But if the same energy goes within, it is completely lost in the bliss. And I'll tell you, Jnani knows much less than most of the people around him. He does not notice so many things because he has no interest in them. He is completely disinterested, not in other objects or beings, even his own object as a body. Because that bliss takes over everything. He becomes like a drug addict in his own beingness. And this is very, very different than selfishness. I don't know. Someone sent me an email from US asking me few questions. I don't know that person. He must have gone through some YouTube videos. And I'm so bad with answering email answers, because there will be never end of question answer sessions. You ask 6 questions, I'll answer 6, you will ask another 6. Non-ending. Mind has created doubts and doubts. And he used a term to explain me about difference between self and solipsism or something. I have never heard this term before. So I googled what this solipsism is. And he said, I think they are same. Now this is inviting a shastrarth or a debate on the just terms all the time. Mind wants to take to something. And I was looking solipsism. Look, I don't know anything about it, but it means selfishness or me. And he's saying that self is that only. So that means that I will compare. I'll say, no. This self is Atman. This is pure abiding awareness. It is not that selfishness. Selfishness is not there. Selfishness is ego. And keep going on. And then email goes and email comes and email goes. So much of wastage for intellectual tussle. Where is the spirituality in it? A spiritual person will join his hands and pray to the self to reveal the self. That's all. He doesn't know any terms. Because, you enter into spirituality and you start getting into nitty-gritty of things, Someone was asking me, explain me the difference between sage and a saint.
all this is waste of time.
Yeah, but people come to spirituality to become more knowledgeable. I don't know where it will lead them.
They don't want transformation of personality. They want intellectual gymnastics.
Yeah, and I said sage, and I was saying sage means sage Ramana Maharshi. So Maharishi, I said Maharishi is sage, and then saint I said Sant. That is all I know. If you ask me, saint means Sant, but then Sant and Rishi and sage and Mahatma and Sadhu. I don't know who has time to classify. We have already classified. We have to declassify everything, So try to avoid this intellectual tussle about things and why it is happening and why this is happening, how it is happening, rather than leaving this all and just once we know what we are, it is more than enough. What else is happening around us, we can't sort out the puzzle. I'll tell you very nice, I don't know how many people will understand, but I'll try to make you understand. In Indian devotional music, Sufism plays a major role. And Sufi mystics are in India for very long. And they do qawwalis and all. And there is a song of a very famous Pakistani singer, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. And that song is Ye Kya Gorakh Dhanda Hai. Now, this Ye Kya Gorakh Dhanda Hai, I'll explain you. Gorakh Dhanda. Gorakh is a name. It comes from Nath Parampara, Gorakh Nath. Gorakh. And Dhanda means business. So, Gorakh Dhanda, if you ask any Indian who understands Hindi, Gorakh Dhanda is a bad word. It means that someone is doing something which is dodgy, which is illicit, which could be even at criminal level. Gorakh Dhanda. These people are in some Gorakh Dhanda, means something dubious, fishy. And this word has been corrupted from that pure sacred spirituality, So this from Nath Parampara, Gorakhnath, he had very intricate program to bring people to the self-realization. There were some rituals, there were other things, and so people of simple-minded, it was for more complex-minded people that he created all that, so they can understand what pure self is. So there are different rituals or practices or whatever he created. So people who could not understand at that time when he was there, they said, what is this Gorakh Dhanda? Like, what is this business of Gorakhnath ji, what he's doing? Like, we can't understand, it's too complex. But it was to do with that pure spirituality, how to reach that. But in all these hundreds and hundreds of years, that Gorakh Dhanda is synonymous with something which is fishy, This is the way we corrupt something so pure into this. So this singer, he's dead now, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. He sings it beautifully. That what is this Gorakh Dhanda? What is this Gorakh Dhanda? What is? And then he takes it into the Sufism and tries to make you understand what God is. And what
Is
God...
that called Kalam singing?
Yeah, Kalam, or you can say whatever way you want to say, Shairi or Kalam, like a poem. And then he explains so profoundly. If you listen to that, and maybe if you can get the English meaning of it, it is so profound, that song. And it takes you deep into all those things which we know. Like there was this Sufi saint who used to say all the time, I am God, after his realization. And he used to say in Arabic, Anal Haq. His name was Mansur. And he was stoned to death by the people at that time. So he says in this poem that God, what are you? People who love you, you order their killing? Same like you can talk about Jesus, who loves you. He was crucified. And this happens that people, in contemporary people, so many of them don't understand, and they rather than appreciating, they kill these saintly people, So he is saying this. He's saying that how do you hide yourself from us and still you are everywhere? What is this Gorakh Dhanda? So he uses this term Gorakh Dhanda for this complexity of God and the way the God is hiding. Like we say, God is in each and every particle, but still we don't see him. So how he's really astonished. How do you do it? Like you are everywhere, but still we don't know you. How smart you are. How do you do it? And someone knows, and sometimes you are trying to punish him from these other people who don't even know you, who don't even like you, and they punish that person. What is this? He's not complaining, but he's just trying to point out these beautiful things which happens around people who have felt that fragrance, who have reached there, because not everyone is being treated very nicely. I'll tell you, you might think that Mansoor and Jesus were like 2000 years or 600 years ago. But recently, I'll tell you, one of the saints, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, was in Tirunamalai, not long time ago. And
I met him 3 times.
Sorry?
I met him 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's something unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you some other day a story about that.
And he was kicked and beaten, almost like he was beaten to death, almost. People in this time, not so. What would you say about people? People will destroy the purest of pure and will go for the ugliest of ugly. Who knows how it works? Who knows? Only God knows why it happens sometimes. So Yogi Ram Surat Kumar was beaten badly many times. Now they have an ashram and all, but how does it matter? So during their time, the contemporaries, they never treated these saints in a very nice way. And why these different things happens in their life. But maybe it affects the people who are seeing these things. Maybe it does not affect Jesus or Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. They are in that bliss, whatever way the people are dealing with them, dealing with that body. People are only dealing with the body. They don't know the person, the real person inside. And that is the reason Bhagavan always kept reminding his devotees when he was in body that please understand, I am not this body. And whenever people brought something for him to eat, he used to share with everyone because he said, I am in everyone. If you want to give me gift to everyone, I am not this individual body.
Shankara has also told the same thing in that kind of Muslim saint here. Maya Viva Vijrumba Yatyapi Maha Yogi Vayasvechaya Tasmai Shri Gurumurte Namayedam Shri Dakshina. Like a great Mayavi. You have done this whole world, hiding yourself and projecting the wrong thing.
Yeah.
How is that possible? So that's what Shankara says. Similar concepts.
Because when you understand, there is a magician on the stage and he's doing some magic. And you understand the magic. Then you understand not all his tricks, but some of his tricks, not all of his tricks. Same is with the one who has in the screen, in that awareness, he understands his truth a lot, though nobody can understand completely. And so that is why you can do a bit of a like a joke, when people were very close to Bhagavan, some of them could joke with him, like, you think this man is Bhagavan, you are so devotee, you cannot joke with him. But then people used to joke a little bit, I remember Major Chadwick once, which I read, he was fanning him from the back and then hiding the hand fan, and then Bhagavan was looking where that air is coming. And then Bhagavan also laughed. So it is that pure innocence, that's all. There's nothing there, When the ego melts away, there's nothing left. That house is now in a way empty. The one who was driving, who was the owner has gone. Because there is no owner inside, you don't think there is any owner in any other body also. Because you come to that which is just an space. Knowing your own space, you find a space in everyone. When you talk to others, you talk to that space in others. Though there might be someone might be carrying an ego, but you have no clue. Your frequency matches to the space within a person, whether he has big ego, small ego, or no ego. And this is the reason when someone else meets you with an open arms, with an openness, his energy elevates to that awareness. And this is the power of satsang, or power of being in presence of someone who is talking from there, because you also have the same. And now that frequency matches and it helps you to elevate. You listen to David Godman's lectures. He talks about that how fast, how speedy is your realization when you are in a satsang. How fast things moves for you as compared to doing your own sadhana. And same Bhagavan said, Bhagavan always said that if you live close to, or you are in company of a jnani, it will change you much quicker. And look, in Bhagavan's presence, so many people were there. But staying in Bhagavan's presence and staying for that intention, that is important. Someone might be thinking, I'll have good food and relaxed life and it's good to be here and whatever. People can have different intentions also, But if the intention is to know the self and there is a jnani, it will be very quick, very fast. And that is the power of satsang. Satsang has really good power. Even in the name of him, when we meet together, he is there. Where else he is? In all of us. He, the self, has arranged this party for us. This sangha, or this group of people, satsang, blessing our life, blessing everyone's life together, elevating that energy level. In spite of whatever is happening in an individual's life, where the person is living, what is happening in this world around us at a geopolitical level, you can touch that pure awareness. Living here but not living. And everyone who wants to be there will get there in their own way. All paths leads to him. He, in a way, he has created these paths, so many of them. And whatever way you want to reach or you want to do, you are born or your circumstances, and it works for you. So when you think you choose a path, you can't choose a path. We say like that you choose a path, but path chooses us. And the teacher chooses us. And it works so beautifully that it works for you in the most profound way. Whatever path you get is the shortest for you, your mind. Things are not that complex. It is very simple. God is the simplest thing to know because it is your other name. It is not your other name, it is you. Actually, what is your name right now is not you. It is the name of the body. If truly speaking, our name is being given to the body only, isn't it? When it was born, it came out. It was given a name. Even when we attend any retreats or conference or any meeting, we have been given a name tag. Otherwise, people would not recognize who is who. And we put that name tag. So the name tag is to the body. Our name tag is same. Everyone is self. Everyone is that capital I. Then it will be very difficult. In that pure nakedness, we are all that same energy. Having like energy flowing through the wire. That is what we are. And then these bulbs are these bodies, different size and shapes. Some has lot of life left and some have less life left, those bulbs. But whether bulb stays or not, that energy is always the same. And we all are that energy. We can stay as bulb and be happy if we know that we are the energy going into the bulb. But if we stay as bulb, then there is only suffering because this bulb is going to fuse soon, will heat up. It is transient. And when you think you are transient, then there comes fear, anxiety, and then you want to save this bulb by hook or crook. And you think that others who are getting energy from the same are your enemies. And then we hate and then we compete, not knowing that we are that pure energy. Our identity is not the bulb. And we don't have to prove to anyone because there is no other. We are in everyone and everyone in us. The best way to understand this is that we are not the drop in the ocean. Rather, that ocean is in this drop. Every drop is that ocean. Because when you think you are the drop in the ocean, you are keeping your individuality as a drop. You're not trying to merge in that purity. When we talk about bhakti also, some people hold on to bhakti as an individual very strongly, and then it can be a problem. Bhakti is until there is vibhakti. Like yoga is till there is viyog, till there is separation. You do some yoga, some method to bring it join. Bhakti can continue. Bhakti comes to a jnani only after union. Because with that ecstasy, it flows in poetry, it flows in devotional songs. So that jnani starts from that dryness, maybe you can say. And when he's finds, then he becomes a true bhakta. bhakti of the self within. But because he got the jnana first, and he knows the self, he can do what he wants to in duality and still not get affected. For bhakta, if he is a true bhakta and a mature bhakta, then definitely he will melt away in that jnana. He will find that jnana. But if he becomes rigid because of whatever reason, because of a sect, or he believes only in one particular thing and is not treating others with respect and love, then he can fall from grace. But the one who takes both, as Bhagavan says, devotion, knowledge together as two wings of the same bird, will be in heart all the time. Because love brings you here, knowledge brings you here, and you follow love and knowledge, you will be here soon, or you are already here. Use this pure energy of love. Get it from every source, any source. All books should be sacred to you, all holy books and all holy people. For you, there should not be any difference. Though you can still stick to one path, one guru, one teacher, one idol worship. But respect everything. Because everything is coming from the same source in different varieties. And that is again a beautiful thing about Bhagavan. Bhagavan doesn't belong to any religion. He is that purest of pure. And that is the reason even now there is no structure of program of Satsangs about Bhagavan, because he belongs to everyone. Whoever practices those teachings will get there. Whether you are atheist or whether you believe in any religion, and you can keep following that religion also, doesn't matter. And this is the thing. Even now, if you see Bhagavan's devotees comes from all nooks and corners, from different religions, caste, creed, and they all get to the same self. He left body more than 70 years ago. And the power is getting exponential. And the only reason is because of that purity in him, that simplicity. He has not given any chance for any doubt to stay. He is not giving you any excuse to hide behind the ego. Someone was mentioning me that path of yogi takes many births. Someone said to me that Ashtanga Yoga means 8 lives. It is better that we are not following something like this. When self is here, then why it will take 8 lives? Just be. The best mantra is keep quiet. Chumma yiru, just keep quiet. And the mind comes with whatever, you just keep quiet. Because you are already that. When we stay as what we are, even the mind becomes your slave. It will show some drama. But when you are not getting impressed by its drama, it will give up. It creates drama till there is a doer, till there is ego, which is interested. You know, for gossip, you need 2 people, isn't it? Only a mad person will be gossiping alone. You need 2. And we all have these 2. One is ego, the other is mind. Ego gone, mind has to go. Mind has no companion. Self is always disinterested in all sorts of gossips. It is always uninvolved. So mind has no company. Mind survives only on duality. When there is someone who has a story to tell, who thinks there is a continuity in this story of this body going on, and he believes on it, he thrives on it, and he wants to secure that story, then the mind works for that ego. They both are companion together. If one goes away, the other dies. So you get rid of your mind or you get rid of your ego. Ego is this selfish interest, this owner of body mind, who feels he is separate from others. The moment you start witnessing things, ego starts melting away. From simple situations to drastic situations, to life-threatening situations, to tragedies. Sometimes people say God tests you. He gives you situations in which it is hard to stay humble and pure. I don't know whether He tests you. But you should be ready for that always. Not because you are afraid of any God. I want to warn you one thing, that millions and billions of people who believe in God, they are not believers of God, they are afraid of God. For them, God is like a policeman. They think if we don't do this, God will punish us. And that is what different religions have grown on this fear, that if we don't follow A, B, C, D, then we will go to hell. And if we do these things, then we will go to heaven. All these types of concepts, to make you slave of your mind. Maybe it is good for most of the people, but not for a seeker. For seeker, it is the biggest trap. Because duality persists, ego becomes bigger. Because I have been given in my religion these 10 rules, and I am following all 10 rules, and one day I will go to heaven. I have signed my contract. with God. Ego is super. How would you deflate this ego? Definitely not in this birth. Then definitely you need at least 7 more births. So many times religious rules are nothing like constitutional rules and rights and wisdom, like we give responsibilities, rules. So people who are not in the right frame of mind can be punished if they don't do the right things. There is only one rule for the seeker: longing for the self. In Bhagavan's time, people used to say, and you might have heard that there was a court case, someone wanted to claim where he was living, and so he was asked questions, and they asked him that, you have opened an ashram and you were not for money, and now this is the thing. What do you think? He said, I don't like money. I don't dislike money. Whatever it is, it is, And then they said, look, you follow rules, ashram rules. What are your rules? And if you see the Orthodox Hindus, they thought that he does not follow any rules, And the people who were very liberal coming from they thought that he's following some rules. But he had no clue. He was not doing anything purposefully on his own. People around him were doing it, and then he was not saying yes or no to anything. When they asked him what sort of ashram he's running, he said, it's Ati Ashrami. It is beyond ashram. There's no ashram rules here. They said, what is this term? Is there any term like this in Vedas? They said, yes, there is a term. Ati Ashrami, beyond ashrams also. So, it gives you so much of solace following who belongs to everyone. Doesn't follow rule, but still some rules becomes in its own way. I'm not sure why I'm telling you, but this is also sort of a warning, and to understand that we don't have to follow too many rituals or make Bhagavan again as a sect. Keep him free as he was always. Mix with everyone. All religions, all peoples. Don't start saying, I'm a Bhagavan Satsangi, we have a group separate. We are not separate. We are that. We are everything. Even the people, non-believers, we are that also. We are everything. That freedom of that awareness, that freedom of the self should never go away. If that is going away, then stop following that teacher. Immediately leave that teacher. Because staying as an individual in any form is bondage, isn't it? We are that pure awareness, always that awareness. Even if right now you don't know that awareness, you are still that awareness. Isn't it so satisfying? Though I am dreaming, but I am not the dream. Just knowing this, how much suffering, let me ask you, a person can have in life. But if you go and tell him or her that it is a dream, he will slap you. because he believes so much so that he wants your sympathy. He wants your help. So you can't go out and say, oh, look, this is just a dream. You are not this body mind. Do you think he will understand? So you have to do this drama, isn't it? You also have to, but I'll tell you, never think that the person who is free has no compassion. He's always full of compassion. Because he can understand your suffering more than that you understand. He knows that how much entrapped you are, taking this dream as real. And so he, when meets you in your suffering, will use his words carefully, because he has no intention to hurt you or show you down. Because to understand the truth also, you have to have some maturity. That's why we all have to take baby steps in our own spiritual seeking. Bhagavan always used to say this type of knowledge, this direct path of self-inquiry, is for a very, very mature devotee. Again, it has nothing to do with any hierarchy. It is depending on how much you have spent time in this thing. How much you went away from yourself, and coming back will take time, isn't it? We have created a lot of illusory obstacles. You have to rewind, come back, unwind, come back to it. How illusory these obstacles may be, but again, you have to, for disillusion also, you have to go through the same path, isn't it? Like in a maze, you went and you are fixed. Now you have to come out of the maze. That is Gorakh Dhanda. This is Gorakh Dhanda. Complexities. Now the Gorakh Dhanda will be different for different people. You know how complex you have made your own life in all these years. Beyond this life, before. Someone who is born as a poor villager, life after life, it would be so quick for him. But for a complex mind, it can be a bit of a tussle. But for everyone, there is a key which will open this door. We wake up in morning, a life starts with the body does something, you have a responsibility. All this you can be a witness. In the midst of any tragedy, you can be smiling within. Just like if you are watching a movie on a screen, nothing affects you. More you are serious, more you are attached to this body. Death is certain, suffering is inevitable. And beware, this is not intellectual understanding I'm talking about. That today you start saying, I am not the body, mind, and things have. It doesn't work like this. And so we say, when the grace dawns on us, we become that truth. Before that, it is only intellectual tussle. It is a knowledge from the book. with your slow, small baby steps, your understanding develops about it. You become more humble. You have more forbearance. And you start noticing faults within. You are just noticing, start dissolving those faults. You more settle in. More you settle, less your desires. Less your desires, more your peace. More your peace, more desirelessness. More you are empty, more you are in bliss. This unfoldment is so beautiful, and it will happen once the journey starts. It's like, people do this pyromaniacs, they lighten up one and then all starts, crackers, one thing, and the next comes and then next. It looks so beautiful. It just happens. You just have to start. You have to find someone is trying to find the corner of the thread you can't find. It is like that. You just have to find that within you. Once you have found, just hold on to it, and it will finish your whole journey. So find the end of the thread within us. Hold on to it. It will do everything for you. More you are innocent, more you are dumb, more it will be easier. Then you will not be using your mind to intellectualize things. It is not at all dependent on your mind or your intellect. That's why saints and sages comes from all walks of life, all over the world. They come in different shapes and sizes because they are not the body. And never think that the saint is always wise. They might be looking whatever way, but they will be knowing here. This is the beauty. Don't go anywhere to search him. He is within us. Have firm faith in a practice. Follow that practice. Don't leave that practice till you find yourself. Be mad for it. Like a lover. So good to be in company of beautiful people and being free in that pure awareness together. Thank you, thank you, thank you.